How everybody doing? It's Mike Sykes, Millionaire Maker. Hang with me, I'll make you a millionaire. So this is day 164 of my 365-day YouTube content creation challenge, where I challenge myself for the next 365 days to create valuable and useful content that I can post to my YouTube channel and try and help bring the benefit of the knowledge that I've gained over the last few years as an entrepreneur to somebody out there who might be in the position I was in 3 years ago when I wanted to, I had an idea that I wanted to be a real estate investor, but I didn't know where to get started at. Okay, now if you're watching this video, I'd appreciate it if you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, and if you can, possibly share this video with at least 5 people. Okay, now as I was saying, like 3 years ago when I decided that, when I redecided I wanted to be a real estate investor, because it's always been in my heart. Okay, a long time ago, growing up on the streets of Detroit, you know, I had it in my mind that I never wanted to work a job. Okay, and however that came about, that meant I would have to be financially independent. Okay, and I think at that time I had learned that more millionaires were made through real estate than anything, but for some reason I had the idea that I wanted to own more real estate in the city of Detroit than anybody else. Okay, now that was my first thoughts. Now as I got older and become a teenager and started to run around in school and junior high school and starting to meet people and hanging out and things like that, and wanted to do what I would call the normal things that teenagers did at that time. Okay, because I was born in 63. I was born in 63, turned 10 in 73. So I'm like a product of the 70s and 80s. Okay, turned 10 in 73, turned 20 in 83. By then I had already had like 3 kids. Okay, by the time I was 20, because I started at 17, 19. Yeah, okay, I was 2 working on 3. All right. And like I say, back when I hit the teens, you know, what thought on my head was I wanted to own more real estate in the city of Detroit than anybody else. And then, like I say, I got introduced to elementary school. I grew up on the north end of Detroit. It's a neighborhood called the North End. It stretches from East Grand Boulevard down to Highland Park, which is about maybe 30 blocks. Okay, I'd have to count it up. But I would say like maybe 30 blocks like that, 30, 40 blocks between East Grand Boulevard, Highland Park, Woodward, and 75. Okay, the area there encompassed the north end of Detroit. Okay, which was connected to Shane Street, which was part of Black Bottom, Detroit. Okay, an area that you will find in documentaries about the nightlife of Detroit. Okay, it's an area that was in Eminem's movie 8 Mile that he made about his life in Detroit. Okay, they had a scene where he was on the bus riding through down Shane, and he worked at a plant that was stationed over on Shane, by Shane. Shane was the name of the street. Okay, and like I said, when I got introduced to junior high school, got to meet fellas. Now, like I said, product of the 70s, because 10, 11, 12, 13, from 73 to 78, 79, the formative years from 10 to, like I said, elementary, starting of junior high. Okay, what I just found out is there's a man by the name of Dr. Claude Anderson. He has some books called Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth, and some more books, okay, about how blacks were treated and the economic the economic portion, the financial portion of our lives were stolen from us by white folks, okay? And I come to find out the other day from listening to him that he was a school superintendent or something like that. He was head of education or something like that, dealing with the government. But I come to find out he used to work on the north end of Detroit at a school called Moore Elementary. Now back then, I think the north end had like 3 elementary schools. It was Moore Elementary, Alger Elementary, and I forgot the other one, but it was an elementary school down that way. Or was it? Or was it just Alger and Moore? Okay, yeah, I think it was 3 though. Okay, and Sherrod was the middle school. Yeah, Sherrod was the middle school, and if you didn't go to Sherrod, you had to go to Hutchinson. Okay, and Northern was the high school. Okay, so we had 2 elementaries, 1 junior high, no, 2 junior, because it was a school over there on Delmar. That was an elementary school over on Delmar. So it was 3 elementaries, 1 junior high, and 1 high school for the north end. And Moore Elementary housed More for Boys. That's where, like he said, they sent all the bad boys in Detroit. They sent them over there to Moore School for Boys on the north end of Detroit. Okay, and what he was speaking on, like, about how he was working there, and his point was that they come up with this IQ test to test the IQ of people, okay, and that the IQ test is automatically racially biased, okay, and that it doesn't encompass certain aspects of black people, okay. It's specifically designed for white people, and like what he was saying was, back then when he was the teacher there, he was coming in with Tom McCann shoes, wearing Tom McCann shoes, which was like back then was Payless, okay? And the students that he was teaching was coming in with gaiters and things like that, all right? Because they was going out and they was drug dealers and they was pimps and they was hustlers, okay? Even though they was at this school, they would go to school and then they would leave out of there and go and they would... Come here, Charlie. Charlie! Come here, Charlie. Come here, Charlie. Come here. Come here, Charlie. Oh, shit. Hold on. Charlie! Come on. There you go.
Monkey. Ow! Monkey smells really bad.
Yeah, I know that. And they would like I say, they was hustlers, okay? And that's just a little fun fact that I thought about. Hey! Okay? But like I was saying, once I got introduced to the streets and met what would become my crew. Okay, it was 4 of us, me, Tyrone, LeBeau. Well, it was a couple of us, but these were the main 4. Me, Tyrone, LeBeau, and Yellow. I can't remember his real name now, but we called him Yellow. But then I guess it was really just me, Tyrone, and LeBeau. There was Pooney. You had Milton. Okay, Tyrone got killed at about 17, 18, and in a drug war that he wasn't even in, okay? He didn't even deal drugs. He dealt with females, but he ended up becoming a casualty of that drug war of the 80s, okay? Because I did grow up in that period too, during that drug war of the crack epidemic. I was there for the beginning of it, all right? I was an active part in it and everything, okay? And like I said, once I got introduced to that life and that street, because I remember as a young, early teenager, you know, I was raised by my grandmother, okay? My mother had me at 15, so she gave me to my grandmother and allowed my grandmother to raise me. And I can remember a lot of things growing up back then. Okay, and I remember at about 12, 13, maybe, asking my grandmother, can I smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. She taught me how to drive. We would go out on weekends. She would love to go to the thrift stores and stuff like that on the other side of town, on the east side of Detroit and stuff like that. And I remember her allowing me to drive the car every now and then, like in a big empty parking lot. She'd let me drive, or we go to Belle Isle and she'd let me drive around. And as I got older, like between around the ages of 12 and stuff like that, as we go out on the weekends, she would start to, and I was a little bigger, so she would start to let me, I think it was around 13, something like that. And she would start to let me drive her around and stuff like that, okay, over on the weekends. And I remember, I think I was about 15, okay, and I was driving, and one Sunday, I think it was, we went to like I said, we did our little thing, went to the thrift store and stuff like that. Or it might have been a Saturday, okay? But I was driving, and I come back, and would come back home, and I pulled up in front of the house, and I parked. And I remember I let her get out the car and started walking up the walkway. And when she got out the car and started walking up the walkway, I hollered out there, "I'll be right back. I'll be right back." And she was like, Michael, don't you take off with my car. And I was like, vroom, and gone right through that motherfucking gear. Tyrone and LeBoy they live like 2 blocks away on the other side of Oakland, right? Shot on around in their house with the car and whatnot. What's up? Yeah, I got to ride this and that, so and so. I remember on that day, because there was a guy around there messing with me. I can't remember. I think his name was Eddie Treadwell. I'm not sure if he locked up or he did, okay? But I think his name was Eddie Treadwell, right? And he around there talking crap. Like I said, about 15, and we around there in front of LeBeau house, car parked on the other side. And he was talking crap. And we standing up there just jawing, And before I even knew anything, he hauled off. I remember he hauled off and hit me. And I hadn't even noticed it, but my grandmother was coming up behind him because she was coming to get her car, okay? She was coming to get her car. And like she had a cane when she would come walking, right? And she was coming, and while we was arguing, he hauled off and hit me. And no sooner than he hauled off and hit me, she was right there behind his ass with the cane, like, oh, hell no. Whack! Right across his back with the cane, like, bing, bam, oh, shit. I remember that. And she cussed me out. First she cussed him out about hitting on her grandson. Then she cussed me out about taking the car. Those are little things like, memories like that, those are the things that I want that are going to be in my book, okay? And those are memories that I'm going to have in my movie too, okay? Yeah. I have a lot of memories of the times growing up in the city of Detroit, okay? I remember, like, if you can get a map of Detroit, you can see where the north end, like I told you, the north end was like a square in Detroit, like possibly damn middle into Detroit, okay? And then you had your east side, your west side. Woodward separated east and west. Davidson separated north and south, okay? Anything on this side of Davidson was south of Detroit. Anything on that side was north. Then you got, like I said, you got east and west. So we lived on the east side. I remember my first daughter's mama lived like right across the bridge. Like I told you, we bordered I-75, okay? And I-75 at Kniff, like I say, at Kniff, cross 75, you cross over into Hamtramck. And then as you go down, you hit another part of Detroit, because Hamtramck squares off around like that and shit. So this part over here is another part of Detroit. My auntie used to live on 7 Mile and Goddard, which is like you take 75 straight out to 7 Mile, come up at 7 Mile, bust a right and take it on down past DeQuinder. And 4 blocks past DeQuinder, you hit Goddard. 2 more blocks down past 7 Mile, you hit my auntie house. And I remember back in the day, as a teen, we rode bikes everywhere, okay? We rode bikes all over the place. Everywhere we went, we rode bikes all over the city. The good thing about Detroit is Detroit was flat land, okay? Detroit was flat land, so it's all, like I got down here to Georgia, and it's hills, up and down, and another thing about difference between here and there is you can turn on the street here and end up in another city somewhere. Ain't no telling where you end up in, flat out. But Detroit was just linear. Hey, all streets ran north, south, east, and west. They might cut off and curve a little bit or something like that, but they still ran north and south, east and west. Bus lines ran north, south, east, and west. Like you got your Oakland bus, you got your Woodward bus, you got your Kniff bus, you got your, what was the name of that street? I can't think of the name of it. Okay, but you had that bus, and like I say, they ran that way. They ran across like that and like that. You get off one bus, connect to another bus. Okay, down here, you get on a bus, you got to get off at a train station somewhere and take a train somewhere and everything else to another station and get on a bus. But like up there, we used to ride the bikes all over the place. And I can remember I used to ride in junior high school. That's where I guess you start, because I remember being 8 years old when I got my first bike. I remember my daddy bought me my first bike, and he took me to my grandmother's, and I spent the weekend at my grandmother's, and I remember she let me ride the bike down the block, have to go down so far, turn around, come back, and I was also allowed to ride. There was a funeral home over here, and they had a parking lot right across the street from the house, and I was able to ride out of our driveway, across to the parking lot, circle the parking lot, come back. I remember that at 8, so I guess that's where bikes started at 8 from there on up. I remember LeBeau and Tyrone, they used to make their bikes. They used to take their bikes, and LeBeau would take his up in the attic. Tyrone would take his down in the basement, because in Detroit, you have attics and you have basements on your houses, okay? Your houses are built with basements and attics after, 2 levels, okay? You still have room where you can go up to the attic and turn it into a bedroom, go in the basement, turn it into a bedroom, and that's what they did. I never even knew it. All my bikes came from the store. I never knew Tyrone and LeBeau was taking their bikes, bending coat hangers, making hooks, breaking them all the way down, wheels off, everything, pedals out, spray painting the frames to whatever kind of freaky color they wanted. Chopper frames from Swins, sissy poles, banana seats, everything. They was doing all of that. All my bikes was coming straight from the stores. Okay, and they was making shit. And like I say, we rode everywhere. Catwalks, you know how you do a wheelie and you ride that thing? That's a catwalk, And it was a couple of people over there that was good at it. They were good at it. But Tyrone and LeBeau and another guy named Dwight Amos. We friends on Facebook now. We done found each other over the last couple of years. But a guy named Dwight Amos, he still say he can catwalk too. But hey, we like 7th grade, I met them in the 7th grade. So the 6th grade, I went to school, hung out with Anthony and Pam and them. They went to Moore. And they stayed 2 doors down from me. Okay, they stayed 2 doors down from me, so I would go by, pick them up. And to be honest with you, the first year junior high school, they had bus tickets. If you lived 11 blocks from the school, you was eligible to get bus tickets. Okay? Hold on. Like I said, if you lived 11 blocks from the school, you was eligible to get bus tickets. But if you lived closer, 10 or more, you wasn't eligible to get bus tickets. Somehow, I don't even remember how, but somehow I managed to get in the office and stole a whole stack of bus tickets. That's right. I was a criminal. You're right. I grew up on the North End. I was a criminal. I stole a whole stack of bus tickets. And I remember, like I said, I used to go by and pick up Anthony and Pam and Angie and them and walk them. On some days, hey, in the winter, we had them bus tickets. We catch the bus. And we catch the bus. Because here's the stupid thing. Let's stop on the corner of Kenilworth and Oakland. We walked down there. Anthony and them stayed 1, 2, 3. They stayed 4 houses off the corner. Plus, it was a parking lot down there. I stayed 6 houses off the corner. Okay, so I picked them up, get them up, and hey, we hit the bus stop in the wintertime with the stolen bus tickets, and we catch the bus down the Moore. Okay? But now here's the thing. This is Kenilworth. Next block is Westminster. If you lived on Westminster, you was eligible for bus tickets. So every week they gave you 10 bus tickets. Okay, so that you can catch the bus back and forth to school. But if you lived on Kenilworth, you wasn't eligible. So like I say, I got mine. Okay. But my point was, like, back then, like I say, bikes. And then in the 6th grade, after the 6th grade, when I got into the 7th grade, the elementary school, the name is Brightmeyer, something like that. What was the name of that elementary school? And it went from kindergarten to 6th grade. Alger and Moore went from kindergarten to 5th grade. At 5th grade, you go to Sherrod for 6th grade. Sherrod was elementary school, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so at 6th grade, from Alger, at 5th grade, you graduate. You go to 6th grade, you go to Sherrod. I just said the name, didn't I? Delmar. Oh, no, that wasn't the name. That was the name of the street. But that school went from kindergarten to 6th grade. Okay, so while I was at 6th grade at Sherrod, Tyrone and LeBeau was still at 6th grade over here. Then in the 7th grade, they came to Sherrod. I met them, met Dwight, okay, a few more people from my neighborhood, some I knew. But I found out Tyrone and LeBeau and them always rode their bike to school. They always rode their bike to school. And like you had Sherrod sat right here. And Sherrod was on this side street because it was like between Cameron and the expressway, 75. Okay. And they tore down houses to put up Sherrod. I can tell that, but I didn't know it at the time. And it started right here at this street. And on this side of the street was a few 2-family flats. Okay. And Dwight Amos stayed at one of these 2-family flats. So Tyrone and LeBeau and them everybody would ride their bikes, leave their bikes at Dwight Amos' house and just walk across the street to the school. And then what they used to do is, like, when we get out of school at 3 o'clock and we would come out, Dwight and them would already be out in the front of the school on their bikes doing catwalks and things like that. You know, they already out there. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell y'all get out here and get y'all bikes so quick. And that's when I found out they was leaving them at Dwight House. Okay. And also, not only was they leaving them at Dwight House, but they were skipping last class. That's how they was able to be out there at the time in order to ride the bikes. Okay. I really had enjoyed my middle school years. I really did. I enjoyed. Like I say, I was in Detroit. Gangs was out. Gangs was coming out back then. As I got up, cause like on the North End, we had a few gangs. We had DPs were down at this end. Okay, then they would come down so far. Okay, and you had JDs in this end. Okay, and then you had NEPs, North End players on this end, DPs, dirty players on this end, JDs, John Dillingers on this end. Okay, and I was me, Tyrone, and LeBeau, me and my boys, we was like Richard Pryor. Okay, you ever listen to Richard Pryor? We was like Richard Pryor. We knew them all because we went to school with all of them. Okay, NEPs, North End players, those guys is down there on that end of the school, or the North End. The DPs, dirty players, those the guys down on that end. Oh yeah, also you had the UTs, the untouchables, because you had DPs, UTs, JDs, DPs. Okay, this is the North End gang. There's 4 of them over there. The UTs, untouchables, okay, they were high school kids. And what they would do is they would get out and they would come over to the junior high school and jump on the junior high school kids, okay? They was the untouchables. And that's why you had the dirty players come out to protect themselves from the untouchables. And then you had the North End players, which was, you had the JDs, which was, I can't think of their name right now, but it'll come to me, okay? Then you had the DP. And like I say, we knew all of them because we went to school with all of them, okay? So we would hang out with all of them. Hey, we'd be hanging out a couple hours up here with these, a couple hours over here, leave there, go to this center over here, hang out with these. These would come over to this center and shit like that. At school, we'd run with them and things like that. So, and every time that they would get up and go to fight each other, we all off on doing our own thing. Okay, deuces. Y'all go do what y'all gonna do. We gonna do what we gonna do. Y'all have a fight. Y'all do what y'all. Well, we see y'all later. And we hung out and kept to ourselves. We were camera criminals, dog. We were camera criminals, dog. It was just the 4 of us. We camera criminals, you know. So that's why I say, I had fun. Okay, growing up on the North End of Detroit. All that's gonna be in my book and in my movie. You know, it's funny how life plays out because when I started this video, before I even started this video, I was starting to feel a little sick and everything. And I was really going to make this a quick 2-minute video. Long enough to say hi. I'm here. Today's date, which is 6/14, which it actually is 6/14 because it's still not 12 o'clock yet. And let you know what time it was and be out. But, because like I thought to myself already, it's not really a lot for me to report on today. I went and got, today was the 14th, the papers on my plates, okay, ended on the 14th of the day. Somebody told me that when you buy a car from the lot, that they send you the plates. Okay, I know they send you the title and whatnot, but somebody told me that they send you the plates. So I've been sitting up here all this time waiting on them to send me the plates. And then I realized that that the 14th was going to be the day. You know, so I called this place where I got them from, and I asked them, okay, when y'all send in the paperwork, do they send me the plates? And he was like, no, you have to take your paperwork and go up to the place and get your plates. And I was like, holy shit, because I didn't get out of bed till damn near 1 o'clock today. And I was like, oh, I got to go do that because today is the end of the 14th. And if I don't get it done today, it's not going to get done in order for me to be able to drive the car. And the Impala's in the shop, and she has the Malibu, so I'm asked out. So I had to run up there right quick and went on and got plates for both of them. Okay. Also, 200, last 2 nights I've been riding around, found out that one of the headlights was out. So I looked on YouTube on how to change the headlight on the Chrysler 200. Come to find out you got to drop the whole front clip, pull this front piece off just to get to the light. Okay? And then after you got to make sure you drop the front clip just to get to a screw that holds the light in. Okay? So I had to make time to do that. I did a little dash today. I think I made about $25, $30. Not even $30, I know. Okay? Because I had to make some kind of money somehow. I went, checked on the Impala. He hadn't even got started on it. He's talking about something about he had to take a forced vacation and whatnot. Okay, so I went and checked on that. Like I say, I got my plates. Okay, after I got my plates, The other day, I don't know if I told y'all or not, but the other day I did manage to get my dispute letters in the mail. I did manage to get my dispute letters in the mail. Okay, and I'm looking over my desk, and I noticed that I seem to have a few. So we can say that this is possibly for like the last. All right, what we got here? Because this is what 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3. So this is one. I don't know how they all fit, but okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's December 28th. Damn. December 28th, 2020. April 2nd. April 21. April 21. April 21. Okay. I'm trying to see. It's around here somewhere. Where that somewhere is, I don't know. But I'm looking for my stapler. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not finding it. Okay, but that was part of my report, okay, that, like I said, I'm going through here. And that's April. Jennifer, that's March. This is June 10th. This is the last one I just sent. March 22nd. April 21st. I'm still not seeing it. March, April. I don't even know if I sent one May, because this is December. Okay. And why is it 4? I don't know. TransUnion. Oh, I must sent 2 letters to TransUnion. Okay, but like I say, that's December. Okay, and then I got this one that I just sent off. Now, while I was there, I noticed that lately over here, what they make me do is they make me fill out the paperwork myself. Okay, so what I did was this time when I went, yeah, I figured if I'm going to be doing this until they clean my shit all the way up, I might as well have them. So I went on and got me a few. At the time, I had to pay my rent for the 10th. Went to the bank, took care of that. But also while I was at that, yeah, you know, figured I better get me some of these too while I'm at it. So I did. Let me see. All this here is, I still can't find. So that's really why it was going to be like a short video, because like I said, I really don't have a lot to report. I managed to get the headline in. I talked to the mechanic. He said he hasn't, he haven't had a chance to look at